Proudly broadcasting from the Richard Philip Cavallaro Studio.
RHU.
Hempstead.
You discovered.
A cornerstone of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication.
RHU.
Hello, screeners. We're back again.
You're listening to The Screening Room on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Say hello to my little friend.
Join us as we talk about all things pop culture,
Hollywood news,
And entertainment.
Well, I'm feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
screeners buckle up.
and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Screening Room on WRHU. I am your host, Michael Albrecht, joined by my co-host, Abby Gibson. Also in studio, we have Michael Ventris, A.L. Sir, Donovan Ellis, and Jamie Ose.
On today's show, we are discussing announcements made at Cinrmacon, the trailer for the new season of Phineas and Ferb, and all of the latest entertainment news.
For more on our show, follow us on Instagram at Screening Room WRHU. Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're all doing amazing. How about we start this week's show like we always do with what have we been watching?
I can start. As long as I don't cough in the middle of my conversation. I just finished the first season of Game of Thrones recently.
You did?
I did. I finished it. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And now I started season 2 last night. Yeah, it was
That's fun. Did you like it?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah. No spoilers, obviously, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but you really should. The ending to season 1 was just so spectacular and like surprising. Like I had to keep watching. I had to see like what was gonna happen next to these characters. Like, it was so good.
I know people say this all the time, but it is legitimately true. That is one of the greatest shows of all time.
I'm starting to see it. Yeah.
It is so good. I'm a nerd for that kind of fantasy drama. If you want a show that's kind of similar, but not really, The Witcher.
I heard about it, yeah.
I started binging The Witcher randomly last summer, and I watched it through. I really like that show. It's going to be interesting now that Superman, Henry Cavill, is no longer Geralt. But
yeah, I know what that means.
But yeah, Game of Thrones is awesome. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, even though I'm sure you know some bigger things. No, it's a great show, and I'm so happy that you've been watching it at all. Legitimately, I am happy because it is a fantastic show.
It really is. I'm really enjoying it. Anybody else? What have you been watching?
I'm about to finish the second season of The Owl House. I know I'm super late to the party, but I've been
better late than never.
True, yeah. But I've been enjoying it a lot. I felt like season 1 was kind of just like rough, but had a lot of good ideas. But almost every episode of season 2 has been like a must-watch for me. Outside of that, I've also gotten to the on my partner's recommendation, I got into the anime Windbreaker.
What is it?
An anime about basically a delinquent who goes to like a school of fellow delinquents, but meets like a club that basically try to protect like the townspeople from actual bad.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
For me, I'm so busy. I don't have time to watch a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. So mostly just Daredevil still.
Yeah. How are you enjoying it?
Well, I've seen, it's not the new one, it's the old one.
Okay.
Because I needed to finish the
I was
old
going to
one
ask if
before
you
I watched the
finished.
new one.
Still stands.
Still haven't finished it.
Okay.
I'm liking it a lot. I'm on season 3. That's what I started I think 2 weeks ago maybe.
Oh.
But I'm just so busy I never get the time to watch it. But I want to be able to sit down and watch it because it is a really, really, really good show.
Yeah.
But when the semester dies down a little, I think I'll be able to finish. But also, with my best friend, I started Ginny and Georgia. And by started, I mean showed her half of the first episode because we got too busy. So
Life of the Comms Kid.
yeah, but then my friends and I made a list of all these musicals that I want to watch because I have some very theater friends, and I was like, I'd be willing to watch some of these. I'm too stubborn, and some things I refuse to watch. But I was like, if you ask me, I'll tell you if that's on my refuse to watch list.
So that's a great segue, Jamie, into a recommendation and something that I watched recently.
Oh, I'm scared.
Not for the first time, I rewatched it, but this is kind of a cool thing that I did on Friday. It's been a long day, 2 days.
It has.
I hope your friends added Newsies
I
onto it.
requested that one, yes.
Good. Have you ever seen the movie or the musical?
No.
Okay, so both are on Disney Plus. They did a pro shoot of the musical. The musical is so much better than the movie.
Really?
Christian Bale plays the main character in a musical.
Batman?
He is Batman. He cannot sing. It's kind of the same. The musical is just, it's actors that do musical theater, and this is actors who act. But yeah, I would watch the stage version because it is just much better. The music's incredible. I was listening to it on the way here. It's one of my favorite musicals. But on Friday, because I've been getting a lot of TikToks from Newsies recently, and so I was like, I need to sit down and watch it again. I watched the musical, and then after that, I was like, I want to watch the movie. It's a 90s movie. And then I watched the movie. It didn't do well. I think it's a cult classic, and a lot of people think it's a cult classic. I like it, but I don't think it's as good as the musical. And if you watch both, you'll see the differences. Like, there are characters that are compound and like don't exist, or plot lines that are completely removed, or there's a whole plot line with Jack, the main character, that is completely removed from the musical.
Wow. Oh.
It's literally just, hey, that's not your real name. That's it. But no, it's a great show. And yeah, watch those musicals as a ex and kind of current theater kid. Just go watch it.
Dude, I wouldn't say I'm an ex-theater.
I was talking about myself.
Oh.
Yeah, so I watched those two, and then yesterday I finished season 3 of What We Do in the Shadows. I was like, is the show ending? And no, there's 3 more seasons left.
Oh God!
Wow. But it left on like kind of a cliffhanger of, oh my God, everybody's going in different directions, and it's a comedy, but they're making it act like a drama. Hey, all, you were gonna say something?
I'm just like a little surprised. Like, there's 6 seasons of that show.
Yeah, but they're 10 episodes.
Oh.
It's like Always Sunny has like 20 seasons, but each season has like 4 episodes.
That
like
makes more sense. Okay.
There's not a lot of seasons, not a lot of episodes per season.
The amount of seasons from It's Always Sunny like daunted me into like not watching it, but like now
I agree.
Yeah.
But I need to get on it, especially with the whole Disney Plus Hulu thing. I keep on getting a mix of things.
Yeah, I've just been trying to keep up with Abbott Elementary. That's like my like main
another
sitcom.
show I need to watch.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. It's so funny.
Season 4 has been going great so far. If y'all seen, I haven't seen the latest episode of season 4. Been needing to.
Is it, how many episodes are there per season? Like 20? The normal?
Yeah, I think in the season there's like 20, 22. I forget. Like some seasons kind of alternate between like how many episodes they have, but like this one has more than 20, I believe.
Okay. Abby, you watch anything good recently?
I fear it's just me finishing on my Gilmore Girls binge.
And that's okay.
Like, I cracked season 7 this past week. I'm really happy about that. Like, we're almost at the finish line in the sense. I will say, Joe Keery just released his new album, so I've been listening to that.
I did see that. And Charlie, what's his last name? Heaton.
Yeah.
Was on it a little bit. I saw like a BTS about it.
Yes. Well, like, Charlie did, like, an American accent as if he was, like, an agent being like, hey, Joe, like, we can't have you, like, in the studio today. Like, we're not ready for you, but, like, Thursday or Friday or someday. And I was like, okay, wait, weird.
That's
actor.
actually crazy. But, no, I like that they're, like, friends in real life.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like, hey, we're act together.
Exactly.
Like, we're like, tight. I love when actors are like that.
Like, guys, when they're
and sometimes they're so close they get married.
Like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
And Zendaya and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And then you get canceled like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
So don't be an actor and don't get married to another
Don't be an actor. Go be a crew person.
Yeah.
Go work in TV, but just don't
raise
act.
awareness
For
TV.
Okay.
For behind the scenes.
For behind the scenes. I think what Jamie's saying is go be a technical director. No, you just don't want people to take your job.
Exactly. Exactly. It needs to be me and me.
Go join Abby and be journalism students.
Oh, well.
Or not.
Oh my God.
Well.
Okay.
Yes, the job market is like, it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Crazy
and
job
it's only
market.
getting crazier.
Yeah. Well.
I start crying. Anyway. Well, I'm so glad we have all been watching some great stuff. Now we are going to move on to our first discussion. Cinrmacon 2025 delivered a packed slate of exciting reveals from all the major studios, setting the stage for a massive year and beyond in film. Disney wowed audiences with the first poster and exclusive footage from Wicked for Good, while Alan Bergman and Andrew Cripps previewed upcoming titles including Lilo and Stitch, Tron Eras, Predator Badlands, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four First Steps, confirming Sue Storm's pregnancy, Elio Zootopia 2, and Avatar Fire and Ash. Universal brought out the big guns with Jurassic World, Rebirth, How to Train Your Dragon live-action updates, and exclusive previews for Wicked for Good, Nobody 2, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, Downtown Abbey, the grand finale, and new projects from Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan. Horror fans got a thrill with updates on Five Nights at Freddy's 2, The Black Phone 2, Megan 2, and the new AI thriller, Soulmate from Blumhouse and James Wan. Elsewhere, Lionsgate confirmed John Wick 5 and an animated prequel, while Warner Bros. Showed new footage from James Gunn's Superman and teased projects like The Running Man remake, Scream 7, The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, and Sonic 4. Other major announcements included Spider-Man 4, Brand New Day, a 2027 release for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, a new Hunger Games entry titled Sunrise on the Reaping, a Zelda live-action film, Final Destination Bloodlines, and a Beatles biopic series set for April 2026. A new James Bond film was also teased as a fresh, exotic new chapter. With this massive lineup of franchises, originals, and unexpected surprises, Cinrmacon 2025 made one thing clear. The big screen is only getting bigger. So I know that was a lot. but
Abby, I can take over if you need a second.
Like I fear
Abby is
the
losing her
sickness
voice.
was like starting to kick in, and I was
I before we go into this, I'm so sorry I made you read all that.
I know, because I kept going, and like I'm getting over a cold, and I could just feel my throat.
I'm sorry.
And I was like, wait.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry, Abby.
I can yap about that paragraph.
Okay, then go yap about that 3-minute paragraph I wrote about Cinrmacon.
All right.
All
right.
So sorry. You go.
I'm giving her a break
here.
here.
There's a lot to unpack there, too.
There really is a lot to unpack. That was like, first of all, insane.
Oh, yeah.
Now I really want to go watch that because Spider-Man 4, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be at least mentioning a little bit of Spider-Man 4 slightly later in the broadcast.
I love Spider-Man. I'm just going to like fully look through.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man as you look through this?
Okay. Well, that is a loaded question, and I have a very specific answer.
Oh, God.
You act as if it's the first time I've been asked that question. Okay.
I wonder if it's similar to my answer, because my answer is a little specific, too.
The best Peter Parker is Tom Holland.
Really?
Okay.
The best Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire. The best mix of both is Andrew Garfield.
So my answer is similar to that, but swapped. Best Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire.
Correct.
Best Peter Parker
really
is Andrew Garfield.
Wow.
And Tom Holland is the perfect mix. To me.
I think I've contemplated that because Tom has the like upgraded suits and like the Tony Stark suits and things like that, so it makes his life a lot easier. But like Toby was bit by a spider. Tom wasn't.
We don't know that.
Tom got a suit from Tony Stark with all these cool tech features.
But he's still...
He already had the powers before starting the suit.
He didn't have webs.
Yes, he
his
did.
web, no.
He
Tom?
Did. He did.
Tom, his webs are fake. He refills them in his suit. He makes the formula out of science because he's smart. He made his own formula for webs.
So does Andrew. Toby doesn't.
Toby doesn't. Toby got bit by a spider and it comes naturally.
Yeah, remember that bit in Far From Home? No Way Home? The movies are all the same names. It's just confusing.
But I'm really excited for the new one.
Yeah, and the title is interesting. Little bit of a departure, but it is supposed to be like stepping into a new era.
Brand new day.
For Brand New Day.
Why is Marvel obsessed with the word You did not just start singing Camp Rock 2 to me.
I absolutely
Michael.
Because that's all I can think about when I hear that title.
I mean, so valid,
which is why they should maybe change it.
I find it funny because, like, as a comic book fan, I just see Spider-Man fans crashing out because Brand New Day is a reference to pretty much the era of Spider-Man comics, right after his marriage got deleted by.
And we're gonna talk about that.
There's so much to unpack with that whole story.
Also, the name, just in general, Brand New Day, Brave New World, I know Marvel is turning a leaf, but their names right now kind of
I wonder if they workshopped it. Like, who?
Imagine the writer.
How can we tell people that we're trying to rebrand? Oh, I know. Brand new everything in the titles.
That's crazy. But yeah, they're also doing
Zootopia
Beyond.
2?
They are doing Zootopia 2. That's been a thing for a while. They just released more.
Yeah.
What is his name? The actor that I love who was in Somewhere Always All at Once.
Not the name of that.
I know. He's Data and Short Round. Oh, Brandy would be like, "Oh, it's this guy, you dumbo."
We don't have
he's gonna be in Zootopia 2.
Brandon's gonna be in Zootopia 2.
Who? Brandon's not gonna be in Zootopia 2. Brandon. That's why Brandon's not here today, guys. He's filming Zootopia 2.
He's recording Zootopia 2. Yeah.
That's not true. But no, Zootopia 2 is gonna be awesome. Megan 2. They also announced.
I didn't even see the first one. I've wanted to see.
So it's interesting because people are saying that it's changing genres. Because Megan, the first Megan is a horror movie.
Right.
And they're saying the second Megan is like an action movie.
Oh, God.
Because it's about Megan kind of becoming the Terminator and hunting down another android. So, I don't know.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
That's
Should
a thing.
all talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
I still haven't seen the first one.
This first one's so good. And I'm not even like a horror fan, and I loved it.
Look, I actually said this a long time ago. Well, when did it come out? In 2023, 2024?
2023.
Yeah, 2023. I said, like, when I watched it with my friends on Halloween, it didn't feel like, it wasn't that scary. It didn't feel like more of a horror movie. It felt like just a movie. Sorry?
Thriller?
A thriller-y, more of a story for the fans than anything else, because, like, there's, like, a lot of, like, Five Nights at Freddy story that's, like, underlining the whole movie that, like, some critics definitely did not get. So, like, I think the same might be happening for the sequel. Excuse me. I'm also getting a little bit.
It's okay. It's April.
It is April, and I think we're all dying today.
Yes.
Well, that's just the vibe in the comm school because it's April.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I shortened it to FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF.
Yes.
FNAF. FNAF 2. I don't really know where they're going with it because, like, in the actual story, FNAF 2 is a prequel. Like, the FNAF 2 game is a prequel. So if they're making this into, like, a linear sequel, then that might be interesting to see how they actually change the story a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I think, we got some more news about Fantastic Four for Steps 2. I think, I was talking to my dad about this last night. It looks legitimately really good.
I'm very excited. My friend and I were talking about it at like 2:30 in the morning when I was like half awake trying to go to bed. But we were like talking about it because he's like, "Oh, I saw the new trailer for it," and like he's like my go-to like go to the movie theater and see a Marvel movie for the first time person.
Yeah.
Like, it's my best friend from home. His name is Kyle. Shout out Kyle, love you. And like we go see everything together. Like that started with probably around like Black Panther 2, Guardians 3 era, but low-key before that, honestly. I don't remember. Like Quantumania maybe. But I'm so excited, and we're going to watch that together. We're going to watch Thunderbolts together. So I'm very
Marvel
excited.
has some good stuff coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited.
And I'm excited because they had like a break where they like didn't release anything for a while, or like much
Which
at least.
is good because they were focusing on quantity more than quality.
Yes, I agree.
And they're kind of pushing for the opposite.
I like that. But now they're doing like 7 projects at once.
Ooh.
But good thing it's a huge company and they have lots of people.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jamie, I'm shocked you haven't like screamed about the new Wicked sequel.
Yeah, so I was
I'm
actually
sure you guys didn't want to hear me yap Wicked.
Well, we have a little bit of time if you want to.
I was going to yap Scream 7.
You can, well, let's do Wicked really short if you can do it in like 30 seconds. And then you can talk Scream for a little bit.
Okay.
It's
just my show
We
now.
only got, if anybody else would like to talk, Wicked for Good, we only got a poster.
Dude, well, it's crazy because didn't the people who went to Cinrmacon get to see the trailer?
Did they? They
like
probably
that's what
did.
I heard.
You're probably right. They definitely have a trailer ready.
Guys, I want a trailer.
I want a trailer too. Do we know when the trailer for the first one was released?
I have no clue.
I don't know the timeline.
Because it had to have been 5, 6 months before.
I was like a few months before, yeah. So
yeah, I guess the timelines match up then, because like the whole point was that they were going to do Wicked and then Wicked for Good like a year apart from one another. So it's already been 4 months.
Almost exactly a year.
So I guess trailer
like
decently soon, I guess.
I would assume so. Maybe
next month.
I
probably.
heard somebody
I
said they
agree
would
with
do it
Donovan. I think
before
in May.
Met Gala.
What'd you say?
I heard somebody say that they were probably gonna do it before Met Gala.
That
Okay.
makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I pulled up the poster here, and honestly, it looks really cool. First of
does.
all, Glinda's dress, it's glowing blue. It's glowing blue. She is pink, but it is glowing blue. It's gorgeous. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But I like how they like split it in half.
Yeah, I think. Well, this movie and Act 2 of the musical, which is what the second movie is mostly just them apart, kind of being like good guy and bad guy, quote unquote.
Okay.
No, I think it looks really good. Quickly before we move on, John Wick 5 also announced, which is interesting because spoilers, he dies at the end of 4.
What?
Keanu never dies.
That's true. At least that's what I heard. I haven't seen it, but somebody was like, "Oh, I was watching something for Ballerina," and they were like, "Oh, he's dead, and that's not really him." Whatever.
Well, Ballerina, I think I heard took place in between 3 and 4. So
well, I didn't.
that. So at the very least, he's still alive there. My question is,
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, got it.
I haven't seen any of the John Wicks. I'll be completely honest.
Please do. They're so good.
I know. And obviously they have Legend of Aang, Last Airbender, Sonic 4, which is crazy. Hunger Games, which we've talked a little bit about in the past. They did the book. They're going to do the movie. Zelda live action. Kind of pumped for that.
That's going to be a little crazy.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me and some of my non-com friends was the Beatles live action, which some people are calling... It's a biopic. On Instagram, they called it a documentary. And the comments lit them up by saying, "You don't know what a documentary is. You cannot make a Beatles documentary. Half of them are dead. Rest in peace." But yeah, before we move on, they also had James Bond teased a little bit. That's going to be a whole can of worms to unpack when MGM decides to do something with that.
Right, yeah.
But really quickly, Jamie, you want to talk about Scream 7 really
I'm
quick?
so excited, but I'm also a little scared because I know that like the later half of the Scream movies were kind of like playing on the fact that they created their own like movie series within the series. So it started with like Scream.
Yeah,
you might look so confused.
I've only seen the first one.
Okay, so the first one, you obviously know what happens and the whole plot of that. But later on in the series, they made something called Stab. It's like a movie series in the movie Scream. And it's like people are going to the theaters to watch Stab. But then they're still like dressing as Ghostface and things. But then obviously that means there's got to be some real killer there.
This sounds like the plot to Scary Movie.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen that, but I know that's a parody of Scream.
And then they made other ones that are parodies of other movies. Yeah, because when they made the sequels, there was like only like 3, whatever.
If I remember how 6 ends, which I don't think I do, and I'm going to try to hurry up here. I don't remember how it ends, but if I'm thinking of... I always mix up like movies if there's a lot of them, if it's the same series, except for High School Musical. But if I remember correctly, then I think the whole Stab thing ended. I think.
Good.
So I'm curious, and we're also on to like the second major family that stuff has affected. Like obviously the first one was like the girl Sydney, but now we're up to like Jenna Ortega's family and like her and her sister. So I'm curious to see where that goes and if they do or do not include Stab, because I know a lot of people did not like the Stab storyline. That's all.
And I haven't seen it, and I don't like the Stab storyline. Anyway,
it's
so weird. You know, all these projects seem really cool. I'm on board with most of them. And I'm definitely excited to see how they all pan out. We're now going to hand it over to our very own Eyal Soar to catch us up on some of the latest stories with our first news break.
Welcome back to Entertainment Newsbreak. I'm Eyal Soar, and here are today's top stories. Tom Cruise was at Cinrmacon Thursday to promote his upcoming film Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. But before he did, he paid tribute to his Top Gun co-star Val Kilmer, who died Tuesday, by asking the audience of the theater, executives, and press for a moment of silence. Cruise gave a speech honoring his friend, and when the moment of silence concluded, Cruise said, quote, we wish you well on your next journey. Cruise then spoke at length about the Mission Impossible franchise, hailing the key studio executives and creative collaborators of all past films in the decade-old series. The Naked Gun is an upcoming American action comedy directed by Akiva Schaffer and produced by Seth MacFarlane. Based on the wildly popular comedy franchise television series Police Squad, Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr. follows in his footsteps of his bumbling father. The film stars Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr. alongside Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, CCH Pounder, Kevin Durand, Cody Rhodes, Liza Koshy, Eddie Yu, Busta Rhymes, and Danny Houston. The film will be released in the United States on August 1st, 2025. On Wednesday, Nintendo unveiled more information about the upcoming Switch 2 console in one of its signature Nintendo Directs. The Direct showcased new games like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, and even some new ported games like Elden Ring and Cyberpunk 2077. However, fans have started to voice their opinions on the current price of the games themselves. For example, the new Mario Kart is priced at $80 digitally and $90 for the physical copy. They're even charging you extra for the updated versions of certain games on the new console, even if you've previously purchased them. This is not a new tactic, as companies like PlayStation have done the exact same thing with the change from the PS4 to the PS5. Mainline console games are steadily increasing their prices over the years, but fans' worry have been more vocal recently due to, in part, to the new tariffs that President Donald Trump started imposing. The fourth MCU Spider-Man film will officially be titled Spider-Man Brand New Day. Anticipation for this new film is at a fever pitch, especially since Spider-Man No Way Home was a smash hit with critics and audiences. No new details were given about the film at Sony's panel. Unlike the previous MCU Spider-Man titles, this one directly references a story from the comics. Brand New Day is one of the more famous Spider-Man stories because of its connection to the notorious One More Day comic storyline, and the use of this title may give big hints for Spider-Man's future in the MCU. The latest adventure of Tom Holland's Peter Parker swings into theaters July 31st, 2026. And that's all for this news break. Stay tuned for more entertainment news later in the show.
Thank you, AO. Disney's recent live-action adaptation of Snow White has faced significant challenges, both critically and financially. Released in March 2025, the film opened with a domestic gross of $43 million and a global total of $87.3 million, falling short of its substantial $270 million production budget. This underperformance has led Disney to pause its live-action remake of Tangled, which had been in pre-production with director Michael Gracie and writer Jennifer Caton Robinson attached. So, how do we feel about this news and what it may mean for the future of Disney's live-action remakes?
Whoa.
I saw this coming.
I knew Snow White wasn't going to perform as they thought it was.
No.
But I also don't think that's a reason to not do Tangled, and for one reason and one reason only.
They should have not done Tangled anyway.
No. Tangled is immensely more popular than Snow White. Easily.
In the more modern
Easily.
day.
Yes, I would
Easily.
say historically, no. But for the modern generation and the people that are going to go see those movies, the people that were 10 when that movie came out, like us, and are now in their 20s and have jobs and money to spend, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Did I just say jobs to spend?
You know, we collect
You know what I mean?
jobs.
It's
And
okay.
then, we collect jobs and then we give them away. You know, that's how we do.
That's
That
what
is what I
employers
do.
do. That's what employers do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think that, especially with our generation, as you were saying, I feel like Tangled is a lot more popular because it did come out in our lifetime, while Snow White is obviously an older film, which is still very iconic because Snow White.
Historically,
Yes.
I think, you know.
This kind of bleeds into the whole what's difference between what's popular and what's more iconic.
You know what? I would agree with that. Absolutely. I would say historically significant is also a big thing. Although I feel like Tangled was also historically significant.
It
for some
was.
people, too.
Rapunzel.
Like, was she one of the original few princesses? No,
No,
that would be
but
like Snow White,
I
Belle.
think she was like one of the first 3D animated ones, I'm pretty sure.
Actually,
And
she may have
everyone
been
loves
the
her story.
First.
It's also a better movie than Snow White.
I'm gonna
but-
look up the most popular
So
princess movie.
I'm just gonna say it. We're gonna do a little slack to the OG Snow White.
Oh no.
It is It is an iconic movie and historically significant, and you will never dethrone this movie. However, Snow White is not a good actor in the original movie. Her singing voice is awful. The songs are not great, other than like 2 or 3 of them. The animation style then is amazing. Now it's awful. It is a good movie, and historically one of the most important movies of all time, especially in the field of animation. But those are my opinions.
I'm
So-
looking up
so
a
it's like
ranked version.
So it's like a Citizen Kane,
Oh.
so to speak, almost.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would absolutely say that I think Citizen Kane for the time is amazing, and it's still. I don't love Citizen Kane, but it is still a very historically significant movie and still a very important movie, especially for like the effects that they did it for a 40s movie. It's a really incredible movie, but it hasn't aged that well.
So the way you described the original Snow White, I can understand why they would want to like recreate
Redo
it
it.
in live action, but also like the recent flack that Disney's been getting for like the way they're casting their actors.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was one of the first things because I think there's
Yeah.
too many people
that was yeah.
that are held in a certain bubble that can't get over certain casting issues and can't just be like, it's a movie, who cares? But yeah, I think Disney does have a lot of issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been there. Okay, so there are some live action movies that I actually have really been into. We've talked about this in the past on this show. I thought Aladdin was really good. I thought it did a lot for Jasmine's character because Jasmine doesn't do a lot in the 90s movie, and she's amazing in the newer movie.
Yeah.
I really liked Beauty and the Beast.
I loved Beauty and the
I
Beast.
actually-
That could
I
also
actually did
just be
enjoy
my
Beauty and the
thing
Beast.
for Emma Watson, but
I
do
saw
just
that
love that
before I saw the animated one, or at least before
Really?
I remember. Well, I think I've seen the animated one when I was like little, but I don't remember it.
You had to have because that
'Cause-
movie came out in 2017.
No, I know, but I didn't remember ever watching Beauty and the
Okay.
Beast, and then I saw the live action, and I was
Sorry.
like, "Oh, this is good. I'm gonna watch the animated."
I just
That's really
realized
crazy.
live action Beauty and the Beast is almost 10 years old.
Oh,
Grow up.
The
that-
Little Mermaid was decent.
I
I
feel
know
old.
it had a lot of hate.
I didn't see it. My mom really liked it, and my mom was not a big fan of a lot of the casting that they made for that film, but she saw it with my sister and loved it.
I really liked that show with my mom and my
Lead-
sister too.
Leading into that a little bit, like I think the castings, honestly, for these movies have been like fine.
They've been fine. They've been
honestly,
really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, the problem, I wish Disney would do a better job of like defending some of these
100%
like,
on about it.
Oh, yeah.
like actresses. Like Rachel Zegler has just been getting like completely.
And she doesn't deserve it. She's an incredible actress,
especially
great
for
singer.
her age too. She's one of the.
100%.
She's very.
Isn't
like,
she younger than us?
Is she?
Might be
Probably
about-
I think
close to
she's
around the
about.
same age.
I think she's about like around our age range.
No, she's 23.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But no, I mean, if you watch defending another remake, not a live action remake, but it is a remake. That is live action. The original movie's live action, which is why I said it doesn't count. I like the West Side Story that she's in better than the original West Side Story. And that could just because of when it was made, and I just didn't really like it. But I think Steven Spielberg did a really great job of remaking that movie for a modern day audience, and so I really like the Rachel Zegler, Steven Spielberg West Side Story. But no, Donovan, you're absolutely right. Disney does an awful job of defending their choices, especially when it's something as important as that, as defending its talent for casting decisions. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think Disney really does try to do the correct thing in terms of trying to be inclusive, but they don't do a good job at defending their choices.
Yeah, and I would. It reminds me a lot of how. Does anyone remember Kenobi?
Yeah.
Kenobi?
Yeah, like
the Star Wars thing?
Yeah, the Star Wars. So if I remember correctly, Moses Ingram, who's like a very incredible actress, was
great.
literally told like to get media training and essentially like try and like distance herself from social media as soon as she got into the role because she knew how people would have acted, and they literally proved her right because she just said, "Hey, racist Star Wars fans exist."
Well,
and
John
then people
Boyega
were like, "Yeah, John Boyega
just came out and said something about that."
Well, yeah,
like a couple days ago about how awful, like he had to really like defend himself and like how awful Star Wars fans and just Hollywood can be, even in 2025, with being racist. It's awful.
Yeah, John Boyega himself, like everyone's like, "Oh no, we always liked this character," but like during the reaction, like I was like 12 when it happened, right? But
Yeah.
even I saw like the reaction to basically his just the very existence of his character, and also the just subtle downplay or like microaggressions that people had when talking about Finn, and it's just like
it's undeserved and it's stupid.
Very.
It is. I could not agree with you more. It is.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that. There are a couple of songs that I didn't watch the movie Snow White, but the new one. I have seen a couple songs on TikTok, and I actually kind of like them, which is good because, as I said, the OG songs, other than like two of them that are the iconic ones, suck. I'm Wishing is an awful song. just gonna say it. So I like that they gave her. I think the new song they gave Rachel Ziegler is actually really good. And I think, you know what? I think just the PR that surrounded this movie kind of sunk it.
Mm-hmm.
But Jamie kind of mentioned this earlier? The failure of this movie that was really more of a PR nightmare is why it failed, really, because some of the things that I've seen is actually not that bad.
I think it's
does that warrant?
I think it's the audience, because yes, like the people that grew up with Snow White are like adults now, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're like take their kids to see the movie.
No.
And I feel like that could have been what they were banking on, like bringing in the older audience, bringing them back to Disney. But now people don't care.
Well, also all the people who saw Snow White in theaters are dead.
When did it come out?
1930.
Oh, I thought it
29?
was way later.
1929, 1930.
Yeah, so definitely not. I was thinking like
somebody's gonna
age.
text me and be like, "It came out this year."
Well, I'll look it up. But still, like, I think that's where they kind of fell because 1937.
Thank you. Big year for movies, by the way, 1937.
As much as I'm personally against like Disney trying to, I don't like the live action remakes in general.
Me
I feel
neither.
like it disrespects animation as a medium, and it feels
Thank
like
you,
there's never enough fundamental changes with them to even like justify their existence. Like I have for most reboots. I guess I don't even like the fact that we're rebooting like films that aren't even like barely 20 years old, like Lilo and Stitch,
Or-
Moana, or Tangled.
Or Harry Potter. I'm a big hater of them redoing Harry Potter.
Yeah, I've got my own little things about that, but overall though, like I will say that I don't think this is gonna be a massive turning point. As much as most critically, like most people don't, at least most people I know don't like the live action like films. Most of them have made so much money.
Yeah. So before we kind of move on to our next news break, does this warrant really quickly them not doing Tangled? Because again, Tangled is a lot more popular for kids our age that have money and are adults now. And it is a much better story.
Yes. I think it's a lot more anticipated by fans. And like people have been doing like fan casting and like
Well, one of them is kind of confirmed but kind of not.
Who?
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, that one's a big fan one.
Which
is perfect.
I actually kind of love. I don't love it when they do that, like pop stars. I know she was an actress first.
She was on Disney before.
She was on Disney before, but she's kind of now in like the same zeitgeist as like Chappell Roan and Taylor Swift of, oh, I'm a girl singer and whatever.
I mean, yeah, but she, like those people haven't acted before. I think it's a little bit different because these are her roots. She wasn't like originally like a songwriter. She joined Girl Meets World when she was really young. So I think having like a singer actor, I'm trying to think of another example.
How old is
like
she? She's
Nick
around our
Jonas, like the Jonas Brothers, like they were actors on Camp Rock and then they became Jonas Brothers.
And
blah,
they had
blah,
the
blah.
show Jonas.
Jonas, yes. So I think
Taking us back.
And like if we were to see them in like a movie or something now, we wouldn't be concerned.
You're absolutely right.
So I think with Sabrina, we should give the same standard.
I agree.
I personally have like my fan casting is like Avantika Venda Napu. That was really popular on like TikTok and stuff like that. But again, similar to what I said before, if Disney's not going to protect like a lot of these like actresses and actors, then I wouldn't. I'd personally just would be like, against it. In general, though, like I think Tangled has like a more like ability to get like a big profit, but like I said before, it's like for me personally, if we're gonna do it, I'd wait a couple more years.
I think so. I think you need to calm down
Yeah.
from the heat. Well, this is going to be interesting to see, what happens. Maybe they'll make it. Maybe they won't. Maybe we'll never have live action remakes again, and they'll go back to making really good original content.
Please.
Elio.
Well, we're now going to hand it. That's Pixar, and you know what? I actually think Elio is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We're now going to hand it back over to Ayal with another news break.
Welcome back to Newsbreak. Here are some more top stories. Despite a Minecraft movie just releasing in theaters, there's already a gulf between critic and audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The film is an adaptation of the hugely popular Mojang Studio game Minecraft, which allows players to build using blocks. Per Rotten Tomatoes, a Minecraft movie has led to a polarizing score from critics and audiences since its preview release. Critical reviews are mixed at a 47% tomato meter score, while the audience popcorn meter currently sits at 83% based on over 500 ratings. While these are still early, and more will follow over the movie's opening weekend, it still shows a clear disparity between critics and audiences. The trailer for the animated miniseries Tales of the Underworld, a Star Wars animated series about the galaxy's criminal underworld, was released on Tuesday. Asajj Ventress, a former assassin with a yellow lightsaber, flees with a new ally, the infamous quick-draw Cad Bane, who confronts his past when meeting an old friend turned marshal. The miniseries will be released on Disney Plus on May 4th, Star Wars Day. The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Bob's Burgers have locked in a massive 4-season renewal at Fox. In addition, American Dad also is returning to Fox, likewise with a 4-season renewal. In March, it was reported that American Dad was nearing a deal to return to Fox, the network that originally launched the show in 2005. The show has been airing on TBS since 2014. Linear reruns of American Dad will continue to air on TBS and fellow Warner Bros. Discovery Network Adult Swim and True TV until at least 2030. Hollywood has honored Val Kilmer as tributes pour in following his passing. An outpouring of tributes has been released online by people across Hollywood mourning his death. These range from fellow actors including Michael Mann, Josh Brolin, and many more, to official social media outlets for movie studios and organizations. All of them honor Kilmer's life and dedication to the craft, alongside how wonderful a person he was. And that's all for this news break. Now let's get back to the movies.
All right, here we go.
Long time no see.
Oh.
I know what we're gonna do today.
We're gonna bust Phineas and Ferb once and for all.
Are we gonna do this again?
Agent P, we suspect that Doofenshmirtz is back to his evil ways. And by suspect, I mean...
He updated his social media status to evil again.
Ha-ha! This is amazing!
Check it out, Gecko Gear.
Red Bull Hot Tub.
It's a submarine sandwich submarine. I can't believe we hadn't thought of it sooner.
Everyone, hold on!
Isn't it great? It's like old times.
Time for the musical dance sequence.
I am ready for summer shenanigans.
Come on, guys.
Let's do this!
Oh, there you are, Perry. You guys are so weird.
That was the trailer for the next season of the hit TV series Phineas and Ferb, courtesy of Walt Disney Television Studios. The beloved Disney animated television series Phineas and Ferb is set to make a triumphant return with its 5th season this summer. The revival premieres on Thursday, June 5th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Pacific Standard Time, on Disney Channel and Disney XD, featuring 2 new episodes. The first episode will also be available the same day on Disney Channel's YouTube channel. For those who prefer streaming, all 10 episodes will be available on Disney Plus starting Friday, June 6th. The original voice cast returns to reprise their iconic roles. Vincent Martella as Phineas Flynn, David Arrigo Jr. as Ferb Fletcher, Ashley Tisdale as Candace Flynn, Caroline Rhea as Linda Flynn Fletcher, D. Bradley Baker of Star Wars, the Clone Wars fame, just gotta throw that out there, as Perry the Platypus, Allison Stoner as Isabella Garcia Shapiro, co-creator Dan Povenmire as Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, and Jeff Swampy Marsh as Major Francis Monogram. The new season promises to deliver the inventive adventures fans have come to love, with Phineas and Ferb embarking on another 104 days of summer filled with wild inventions. Meanwhile, their sister Candace remains determined to bust her brothers, and Perry the Platypus continues his double life as Agent P, thwarting Dr. Doofenshmirtz's latest schemes. So what do we think about this trailer, and are we excited for the return of an iconic childhood show for all of us?
Yes. Just yes
Okay,
to all of that.
pause.
What?
Man.
Are Phineas and Ferb brothers or best friends?
Brothers.
Wait,
why do they have different last names?
They're stepbrothers. They're stepbrothers.
They're stepbrothers.
They're stepbrothers.
Because when you read the last names, I was like, I thought they were brothers.
They are brothers.
No, they
They're
are
stepbrothers.
Okay.
It's like the movie Step Brothers, just not
I
like
haven't
that
seen the
at
movie
all.
Step Brothers, but I completely
Watch the
understand
movie
what
Step
Step
Brothers.
Brothers are.
You won't like it, but everybody else
Also,
does.
Ashley Tisdale and Allison Stoner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've been in the
Hello?
cast since the beginning.
Yep.
Hello.
Did you not know they were in the cast?
No.
Yeah.
Growing up, I didn't focus on like the voices of like animated shows, And I never, ever, ever would have guessed that.
So there's 2 new seasons. The first one's coming out this year.
So excited.
I'm so pumped for this. This was like my favorite show as a little kid. One of the first shows I actually really watched when I was
I need to rewatch it.
really little.
I don't know if I've
hate
seen
that
every
they're,
episode.
Like, doing all the episodes at once.
I agree.
Like, I wish they would, like, do it week by week.
Yeah. And Disney's been playing around with that with like Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
I think
But
that
they
Lotus
High
did
School
it.
Musical, the musical, the series. And I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it depends on like the show you're going for.
Yeah.
I will say, because like Phineas and Ferb was a very episodic show, so I think they can get away.
Do you mean Serial?
No, it has
It's not really
continuity.
episodic.
It has continuity. I'm not denying
That's
that.
true.
They're,
Like,
but not too much though. Like they have
So you do
callbacks.
mean-
Like, it could be a standalone if you were to watch a random episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're saying the same things, but we're mixing up the terminology.
Got it. Okay, I just want to make sure. Speaking of continuity, I could be wrong because I did watch like only a couple episodes of Miles Murphy's Law, but like, I thought I am interested if they're gonna like kind of talk about how Doofenshmirtz did try to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah.
In the
I think they
more
will.
recent seasons.
So in the trailer and one of the other clips, they were kind of like, "Hey, Doofenshmirtz is evil again."
I've returned to
So
evil.
I think they'll probably have like a one. That's so funny. they all did that for us while the trailer was playing, and we were all
I have
like,
a really
"Oh my
good
god,
Doofenshmirtz voice."
that's insane." I think they will, if not like a one-off joke about like, "Oh yeah, I tried, but this gave me more money or something, or I was contractually whatever." Some kind of joke that I'm not smart enough to write. But no, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great.
I will say the funny part is that both Dan and Jeff have not been missing out on work since they started Phineas and Ferb all the way back in like 2007.
Oh yeah, they've been like busy
Not at
for
all, no.
years on years on years.
They did Milo Murphy's. They did
Hamster
Hamster and
and
Gretel.
Hamster and Gretel. I was about to say.
A lot of good childhood shows that were different, but also in the same universe.
They also made like a recent Phineas and Ferb movie a few years ago, the Candace one.
Candace Against the Universe.
I actually really liked that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to.
I was into it.
What?
I was into that movie. It was good. But no, this is just a good series.
No, it is. It's so fun.
I know nobody is listening to the show who's like a parent other than our parents.
Yeah.
But if you're a parent of a young one, go show them Phineas and Ferb because it is so good, and it's kind of educational and it sparks imagination. and it's fun.
Honestly, there's one thing I learned from Phineas and Ferb that has stuck with me
And?
for my entire life.
Build a backyard beach.
No.
Thank you.
Aglet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like the song.
Yes.
No, I think that's just like a staple in every child's heart, knowing what an aglet is now.
Like,
that's important.
It is.
Yeah, like, that's,
we
like,
need
such
to
a
know what an
random
aglet
fact.
is to do our taxes.
It's such a random fact, but like that's genuinely something I never thought about until I saw that, and I was like, that's like actually like a low-key a good piece of information to know.
It's a really good show. It is personally one of my favorite childhood shows of all time. It's so good. It goes right there with Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah.
I
for
can't
me.
say the same.
No?
I really liked Phineas and Ferb, but
You didn't
that
like
is
Gravity
not
Falls?
one of
That's
my
like-
childhood staples.
Did you watch it at all? Or did you
I
just
did.
not like it?
No, I genuinely did watch it.
Okay.
But I
Um,
feel like there were other shows, especially on like Disney or Nick, that I was just a
Oh.
lot
That's
more
fair.
into.
Yeah, I've
Same
never
boat
been.
as that.
I've never been the craziest about Phineas and Ferb. That's why I'm kind of like, damn. But also too, like again, Dan and Jeff have done like multiple shows on it,
Yeah.
and nothing has really been able to recapture Phineas and Ferb. Also, look, I'll take any animation I can get from Disney at this rate when
Yeah,
it comes to
seriously.
small screen.
I think.
Yeah.
I agree with you. They've had a lot of hits. I think.
Yeah.
Swing and hits. More hits and misses, or swings and you know what I'm trying to say. I don't
Swing and miss.
I don't
Swing and miss.
I don't play the baseball.
Yeah.
But I tried. I was really bad.
I actually watched it last night.
Phineas and Ferb at baseball.
Baseball.
They've had more misses than hits, but their hits are so good. And I think for me, at least, this is an example. Really quick, let's go around because I was talking to my dad about this a little bit last night in relation to this before we move on. What childhood TV shows are like our favorites?
Give me an age range.
Elementary school.
Okay.
Samurai Jack.
That's a good 5 years for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking I stopped watching
That's a
Dora
good
at
one.
age 6 because that was
Good.
No, because I was supposed to stop watching Dora way earlier. Dora, you're not supposed to watch until you're 6.
Oh, I had the exact same issue when I was 6. I was still watching Dora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, do you guys remember the Fresh Beat Band?
Oh my
Yes.
god!
Yes. I was
Oh,
obsessed
that's
with
oh
it.
my
Oh
god!
my
I remember
You just like
waking-
reopened like a door in my brain there, Abby.
Like nobody remembers it, but like I remember like so vividly as a child it being on and me like dancing with them in the living room and my mom coming in and being like, "Good job, sweetie."
No, that was a great show.
I was more of a Little
looking
Einsteins
at-
kid.
So that's what kind of started this. Is Little Einsteins.
Yes.
Because of Phineas and Ferb, and then we were talking,
We're
Little Einstein.
going
Somebody,
on
my
a
dad
trip.
or one of his friends made like a Little Einsteins reference, and it was like one of the best shows
Oh,
ever. They're never going to. It's one of our friends just popped in.
Yeah.
They're never gonna recapture shows like that. Like they don't make children's TV shows like they used to.
Okay,
Like, we had Little Einsteins, Higglytown Heroes.
What is that?
Higglytown Heroes?
I've never heard of it.
It was on
right,
Disney.
I
It was on
remember that.
Playhouse Disney or Disney Junior, and it was like these 4 kids, kind of like it was. I was gonna relate it to Backyardigans, and it's not like
I
Backyardigans
love
at all.
Backyardigans, bro.
But a good shout out. Higglytown Heroes was essentially these 4 kids that are like Russian dolls.
Oh.
It's so weird. Basically go around town and talk to people that do jobs, and it's supposed to be educational for kids to learn about different careers. And like what different people in the neighborhood do. So there was like one about the mailman, and hey, this is the mailman. This is his name, and this is what he does. It's very educational. Same thing like Little Einsteins was all about music education.
Yeah,
And
I like didn't know that until I rewatched it for my children's writing class this semester, and I was like, this sucks. I did not like it, low-key.
what Little Einsteins?
Like when I rewatched it now.
Well, because you're.
But yeah, when I was a
20.
kid, I like ate that up.
I wasn't not much into like the educational kids cartoons like everyone else was. I was watching like more like older cartoons like what is it, Teen Titans and like Sonic X, like that on 4Kids. Like that was my childhood, and that kind of explains why maybe I don't know everything in the world that I should.
I was I'm pulling a Dejan here, a big Wow Wow Wubsy.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's foul. Yeah, that's a good one.
Loved Wow Wow Wubsy.
Oh my god!
So we're gonna go on to our next discussion. We're gonna talk about it really quick because we are running out of time, unfortunately. I'm definitely excited about Phineas and Ferb, though. I think that's gonna be great, and I'm so happy we all watched very similar children's TV shows. And we all kind of are obsessed with it. But now it's time to continue the streaming wars. Ooh. According to Nerdist, nearly half of Americans now believe they're spending too much on streaming services. With so many platforms rising subscription costs and the frustration of canceled shows or hard-to-find content, viewers are feeling overwhelmed. As subscription fatigue sets in, it's clear that the golden age of streaming is starting to show some cracks. So let's dive into what this means.
I could not
for
agree more.
The future and how we watch stuff.
I could not agree more.
I agree.
Because people will be like, oh, like you should watch this show. And I'm like, oh, what's it on? Max. Oops, sorry, don't have Max.
Yeah.
Or like Netflix when my parents like pay and then I live in my college house and they technically have the household even though it's all under my email. I have to like go through the process of, oh, I'm on vacation or like, like that's a whole thing.
They do
also.
have a tier. I was looking at this because I changed my Netflix tier because I didn't want to pay for the tier without ads.
Yeah.
There's a tier or like like an extra little thing you can group in to have that ability.
Yeah.
But it's more money.
Exactly.
So I think just corporate greed, as always, is always going to be the end all be all. But also, we kind of talked about this a little bit in one of your news breaks, Ayal. The tariffs are also kind of digging into.
Like that's been a new worry from like a lot of Americans nowadays.
Yeah, it's digging into the cost of literally everything. And it's just making streaming more expensive. And that's, there was a time where everybody could afford every streaming service. And now, if I I can only maybe afford Paramount and Disney Plus, and that's it.
Yeah, and also just like this is a little related, unrelated. Just my 2 cents. Like there's like an overcompensation of like a lot of things to watch. Like there's so much added that like you really don't have time to like get into it all. I'm shocked I made it through the first season of Game of Thrones as much as I did. Because I've just been so busy, or like I'm watching another show that like it's a lot. It's too much.
It 100% is.
It almost feels like at some point it's like a laundering scheme, just because of the fact that they'll have like an original series and then they'll like cancel it, so that way there's no possible way to watch it and there's no possible way for people to get like any residuals off it.
You're absolutely right. No, this will definitely be a topic that's up for debate for years to come, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it develops in the future, especially with all of the economic stuff that this country's going through. So there's always so many new things coming out every week to watch, and it's extremely hard to keep track, especially for us. So our very own Donovan Ellis went through the movies and TV shows coming soon. Tune in this week.
Welcome to Tune In This Week. Here is what's coming to screens near you. Starting off with the big screen, we have The Spy Pro: The Amateur releasing in theaters, featuring Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne alongside John Berfall, Michael Stuhlbarg, Holt McClaney, Julianne Nicholas, and Rachel Brosnahan. This espionage action thriller focuses on Charlie Heller, who is a decoder for the CIA, who is trying to get revenge on the people who caused a terrorist attack in London that killed his wife, embarking on a dangerous mission that will have him on every side of the law. A novel of the same name, I'm sure The Amateur, with such experienced heads and hands working on it, will manage to set itself apart from the action movies for this year. Next up on the list, we have Drop, headlined by producers Michael Bay and Jason Blum, plus also acclaimed horror director Christopher Landon. We now have a action-packed thriller that features Emmy nominee Megan Faye alongside Brandon Skleiner, Violet Bean Jacob Robinson, and Ed Weeks. Features Violet, a widow mother who, on a date with a man named Henry, is terrorized by a series of anonymous messengers to her phone, telling her to kill Henry or else her family will be in danger. As such, you have to see Violet pretty much push herself to her limits in order to find a way to protect both herself, her family, and her new date. If The Amateur isn't your cup of tea, then I'm sure this movie will be, given the fact that it will also be releasing the same day of April 11th. Those of you who may be looking for something to stream in the next week won't have to wait long, as in April 10th, Amazon will be releasing a new original movie called G20. Based off of the summit of the same name, Viola Davis will be playing American U.S. President Danielle Sutton, who uses her military experience to help save the people of the summit after it gets hijacked by terrorists, accompanied by Anthony Starr, Marseille Martin, Anthony Anderson, Raymond Rodriguez, and more. For those looking for a small series on a small screen, Amazon also has something for you, as on April 8th, they will be releasing a series called Spy High. Based off the real-life story of Blake Robbins, Spy High recounts over 4 episodes the story of the 15-year-old who was filed a lawsuit claiming his prestigious public school was spying on him when he was accused of selling drugs, thus sparking a set of scandals, lies, and even troubling revelations about how much digital privacy the school gives its students. Wahlberg's Unrealistic Ideas studio and acclaimed director Jody Schultz, I think we're in good hands to tell a story that will truly shock the world. And that's what's coming out this week. Make sure to tune in each week to check out what's coming to screens near you.
Well, everyone, that is going to wrap up this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Screening Room on WRHU. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram at Screening Room WRHU to stay up to date. And please be sure to tune in to our show every Sunday at 10 a.m. only here on 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University. But until then, we'll see you at the movies, and have a great week, everyone.
Guess my childhood is over now. I'm taking down my posters and I'm putting all my things inside a box next to a toaster. That's my closest thing to closure. I can't stop this roller coaster. I'm not ready to get older. I'm not ready to get older. Guess my childhood is over now. I'm taking down my posters and I'm telling all my friends we'll get together next time.